to One Broadway Collaborative. I'm Aaron Tornberg, and I'm here today with EaseUp.
Yes.
Is that how you want to be known?
Yep, EaseUp, yep.
EaseUp. So EaseUp is here. He is local to Lawrence, right?
Yes, yep. I was born and raised here.
All right, and we're here to talk about Eric's music and what he's done to get where he is. And let's start off with, so you're from Lawrence.
Yes.
Is your whole family from here?
Yep, my whole family, my mom, she was born in the Stadium Projects. No, the Beacon Projects.
Where's that?
That's right over the bridge. If you go over the bridge up this way, the South Broadway Bridge, and it's the projects that's like kind of like heading towards like Andover.
Okay.
Like those projects over there. By the way, that was a nice intro.
Oh,
like
thanks.
You did the guitar on that and everything?
Oh, that was GarageBand.
Sound nice.
I can't take credit for the guitar because it's GarageBand.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, I like it. I like GarageBand to use to make some beats and stuff. And
yeah.
So speaking of beats, so you started doing music when? What age roughly?
I started doing it like around, I think it was like 7th, 8th grade. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie 8 Mile from Eminem.
Yes, I actually just watched it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So me and my friends from like 8th grade, once the movie came out, because that's like when we was probably around like, I don't know, I know we was in 8th grade when the movie came out, and one of my friends, he loved the movie a lot, so we used to like, he started up like the battling thing.
Oh yeah.
So we used to just write battles and go at each other in school, and then eventually we met somebody, an older dude. He was pretty cool, and he had his own home studio, so we ended up like recording the battles of us. We was just messing around, like we was just young and trying to find something to do. So, but once I got on the mic, like I realized like this is what I wanted to do, and my friends, and they were all like, telling me that I really got a good talent in it and I should keep it up, and that's basically how I got into it.
Nice.
The writing and stuff.
So so it was the movie that inspired you, kind
yeah,
of?
Exactly. Yeah, it was 8 Mile that inspired us.
Yeah, are you a big fan of Eminem still?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
He's like one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah. So
one of the best,
When you grew up, where did you go to school, and was it in Lawrence or?
Yeah, yep. Yeah. Went to school and went to the Leonard School. That's where I met the friends, and then it ended up like turning into the Partham School, because when we was going to the Leonard, they was building the Partham School, so they had the school. They had it like separated. They had the Partham kids and they had the Leonard kids, and the Partham kids were just there temporarily until the Partham School was built. And it was at the time it was like the best like middle school around in Lawrence, because it was like a $28 million school, and it was like something big,
That's funny, because my son is 11 and he lives in Salem, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And his school is doing the same thing. They just are doing these huge upgrades. So all year, it's going to be under construction the whole time. So was that what happened to you?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So you're sitting there and there's like big machines everywhere around the school. And,
no, it wasn't really like that, because we was in the Leonard School, so we was there temporarily until the Partham School was finished built.
Oh, so it was a different building.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's great. So you went to school and then high school at Lawrence High School, and
yes, yep. So I went to the Partham School and ended up getting kicked out of there because I was just like, always messing around, being a little bad little kid, and from there I went to Lawrence High, and I went there for a couple months, and I started getting into the streets and stuff. So I actually ended up going to DYS when I went straight from high school. I was a freshman, and I went there for a couple months. I caught a case and ended up going to juvenile for like a couple years, and I ended up getting my GED and DYS in juvenile.
That's admirable that you got the GED.
Yeah.
I'm glad you saw that you should do that. That's impressive.
Actually, the first time I ever performed was in juvenile. Was when that happened, because there was a music program they had there, and it was like a Christian one, you know. So they ended up doing like a Christmas like concert kind of, like, you know, obviously just for the juvenile, just for the jail, you know. And
okay.
And they had a few people whoever wanted to go up, and they had like kind of like an open mic, and I was writing, like I was still writing, so I did my first performance there.
Yeah. So when you did your first performance, was that material you still use, or is it stuff that you?
No, I can't even remember. You know, that was
or was it covers? I mean, did you cover other
people?
No,
it was actually my stuff.
It was your stuff. Okay.
Yeah. There was actually it was cool because there was a kid there, and we had like Fruity Loops, you know, we had access to computers, and there was a kid there making beats, and, you know, I was writing, so he made a beat, and I actually, you know, I wrote to that beat and ended up performing. It had to be a Christian rap song.
Oh,
but it was a good experience. It was the first time I ever did it, and it was fun. I mean, juvenile wasn't fun, but it had its moments.
Right. How long were you there?
I was there for 2 years.
Yeah, and then you went back to Lawrence High, or just got the GED there?
No, yeah, I got my GED, and I went in when I was like 16, and then I got out when I was like 18, and before I got out, they set me up for college. You know, they got me enrolled into college, so as soon as I got out, I started going to college from there.
Yeah, where was that?
I went to Northern Essex Community College.
Mm-hmm.
NECO. I didn't last, though.
No.
I ended up dropping out, getting back into the streets.
Yeah. What does that mean, getting back into the streets?
Just being like when we was younger, like, because I had a good childhood, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I had my mom and my dad my whole life, you know, and they ended up just getting a house for the first time. They ended up getting their own house, and then this was like around like 13 years old, and they ended up splitting up. Like they had a foreclose on the house, and you know, everything was good up until then, and then once that happened, like, our whole family split, because I have one older brother, one older sister, and I have a little sister, and it was so basically us 4 siblings and my mom and my dad, and we was all doing good. And then once the house foreclosed, my mom and my dad split up. We all split up, and my mom and my dad ended up taking, you know, my little sister, the youngest, with them, because when they moved, they was like living with somebody else, and they really couldn't take all of us, you know. So me and my brother ended up moving with one of my cousins, and I was actually staying in like the laundry room. It was probably like a 4x6, 4x8 room. It was like a little jail cell, and it had the washer and dryer in there. And I'm not sure. I can't really remember. I think my brother was there for a little bit, but then he ended up going somewhere else. And my big sister, she ended up doing her own thing. So once that happened, you know, I didn't have really nobody, like, you know, no guidance, no positive influence in my life, and that's when I just like I felt kind of lonely, and so I ended up just, you know, walking down the street like a bored kid, and boredom is always what, you know, gets you into trouble. And, you know, I met these kids, and they was already, you know, getting into trouble, and, you know, like drinking, smoking weed, and, you know, that's all we really was getting into at that age. And they was doing a lot of like eventually we got into like robbing like stuff, like houses and stuff like that. And because I met this older dude and he was like 18. No, he's probably like 20 or something. I was like a little younger, and he was doing that all the time. And I used to look up to him because he was older, and I really didn't have like nobody else to look up to. And we used to go and go into houses and stuff like that, doing B&Es and stuff like that. So, and then just like hanging out on the streets, getting into trouble, getting into fights. We'll go to parties and just looking for trouble. Like, we'll stand in front of the store and ask for change. Sometimes when we're broke, we'll lie to the people and we'll say, "Oh, can I get some money to eat? I'm hungry." And then we'll end up at that. We'll round up what we all got and we'll go buy some weed and some beers and stuff like that. And then we'll go to the parties and get into fights, join a gang and stuff like that. And it was just like, all we was doing was just like, it was just a reckless lifestyle. So that's basically what we was doing, like in the streets and stuff,
How did you stop doing that?
Like, I had to stop because I had to grow up, Like I haven't did nothing bad like that. It had to be like, the last time was like 7 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to grow up. I had a daughter, you know what I'm saying? So once I had my daughter, I already had to grow up. And like, we was just like I ended up going to jail a lot, like my first time I went to jail was 13, and then after that I went to jail when I was 16 to 18, got out when I was around 18, that I ended up having a kid around 18 years old, 19 years old. Had my kid, my first daughter, my only daughter. And from there, I was like, I can't be in the streets like that no more. I ended up getting a job. And from there, but then, like, I was still kind of in the streets, but I wasn't robbing people and doing nothing like that, like reckless stuff. Like, what I did, I ended up started selling weed. So I started getting into the drug dealing and stuff like that, and I kept the job the whole time too. But I started I buy a little bit of weed, like a 3.5 for like $20, and I broke it down into like nickel bags, like $5 bags, and I made probably like $20, and then I would save that and then do the same thing, save up, and then I eventually ended up grabbing more. Like, I got to a halfie, then I got to an ounce, and then I just kept going up and up like that. And then I ran into some dude that he came from New York, and I was like standing in front of a store that I usually stand in front of, like to like try to get business, and I would just be like, I'll just stand in front of the store, and I'll just be like, if I see somebody come out with like cigars or something, I'm like, "Oh, you want to take my number? I have weed," So I seen this older dude, and he's from New York, and I told him that, and he's like, "Oh, I got weed too," but I had no weed, like I was just a small timer, so I really didn't have weed like that. But he's like, "Oh, I got weed if you really need weed," and I ended up linking up with him, and he ended up giving me big amounts of weed and stuff like that, and we was just pushing it like that.
Yeah. So that's what happened when it was legalized. Did that affect what you were doing?
Nah, that really didn't. Cause it didn't at all. Actually, it probably made it easier for the people selling weed to sell it, because now they could carry it around, and but so I met that dude, the dude from New York, and I ended up selling weed, and then eventually he was like, "Oh," he showed me these Percocet 30s, and he's like, "Oh, you ever seen these?" Or I'm like, "Nah, I don't know what that is." And he's like, "Oh, you should try to sell some." I'm like, "All right, I'll try." I'm not gonna say I could do it, but he gave me like 5 of them, and I ended up selling them just through my weed customers. I was just telling them word of mouth, "Oh, anybody looking for this, hit me up." And I ended up selling the 5, and then eventually he'll give me more and more, and I'll sell them, you know what I'm saying? And then it was there was a time when the Percocets was flooding the streets, Really? I think it was maybe around 10 years ago, something like that. And it was so easy, it was a pandemic with the Percocets, and a lot of people was going down to Florida, and there was like giving out prescriptions like candy. You know, it was so easy. I mean, I heard stories of people going down to Florida and they'll go take the MRI or the CAT scan, whatever it is, and all they had to do was like hold their back, like tighten their muscles through the whole process, just hold it like that. And I guess on the MRI it will show like I don't know something, but it gave them like access to get a prescription, and people was going down there getting the Percocet 30s for like, you know, prescriptions, or get them for cheap, like $8 a pill, bringing them back up here, selling them for like $30 a pill. You know, so I ended up getting into that from the weed. I was still selling weed, then we started selling the Percocets, and, you know, like, so it just kept like branching, like kept getting bigger, and I kept getting like deeper into the like drug dealing game and stuff like that. But like, I got to the point where I didn't want to like rob nobody. I didn't want to do stuff like that because of karma. Like, I didn't want nothing to do with that, because even though selling drugs is bad, I felt like it was way worse to be like just robbing people, you know, saying stuff like that. So I eventually ended up stopped doing all that stuff, and we just stayed in the streets just dealing and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, with all that, were you still trying to do music during that period?
Yeah, well, I was doing music, but not really. Like, I was more focused. I was more in the streets, more like chasing money. And so something happened with the perks, and they shut it down. The government shut it down. Like, they shut all that stuff down, and the perks ended up disappearing off the streets. So, and then that's when fentanyl came. You know, the fentanyl started coming out of nowhere, started flooding the streets. And so all my Percocet, because my customers, they were like, oh, well, you could get the Percocets. And I'm like, I can't get them no more, you know? I don't know why. And they're like, you give me anything. And I didn't want to get into that stuff, you know, like heroin and like selling all that stuff. But eventually I ended up doing it, you know, selling that. And I would go to the studio sometimes here and there, and I wouldn't really finish nothing, you know, like it was just like me just mostly in the streets, just chasing money, just living a reckless lifestyle. And I even got locked up in, like, you know, for a couple of times for just dealing and stuff. And and the last time, like, I got locked up, it was for, I got caught with a lot of fentanyl, and this was in 2015, and that's when that was it, because they was trying to give me like 10 to 15 years, and I got so lucky because I got caught, like, when I got caught with the fentanyl, I got caught with a large amount of it, and when I got caught, they just passed a law for fentanyl, because when it first came out, they didn't know how to charge people because it was a new drug, and they was just working on changing the laws for that. So when I got caught, the law was passed, but it wasn't in effect yet. So if it was in effect when I got caught, I would have been still in jail. They was trying to give me like 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
And so when I got caught, right, I asked my lawyer, like, how much, like, don't beat around the bush, like, just tell me straight up how long am I looking at. And he's like, oh, you're probably gonna do like 10, 15 years. And I went to my jail cell that night, and I was like crying and shit, because like not crying like a baby and nothing like that, just like a couple tears, and because I was thinking like my daughter, you know, like my daughter like was 8 years old at the time, and I was thinking about it, like I'm gonna miss her whole life, and I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna be like around 40, I ain't gonna have nothing to show for. But then when I went to court, like a month later, they're like, oh, we found out, my lawyer told me, we found out the law wasn't in effect yet. You know, it was passed, but it wasn't in effect. And the crazy thing about it is the date that it was in effect, it was my birthday too. So wow. It was like a crazy sign. And when I was in jail, like I did a year for that, you know, like I was waiting trial, and I ended up getting like 4 years probation, and I had to do a lot of stuff, but I ended up doing a year. And when that was like my rock bottom of my whole life, and I was always into the music. Like I always loved doing the music. I would do it here and there. I never really took it serious. But then, when I was in jail, I did like a couple months in the hole, and that was the worst. And the only thing that got me through in the hole was I started writing every day, writing music. So like a lot of people would read. I wasn't really a big reader, but they gave me a pencil and a pad, and every day I was just writing music because there's nothing you could do. You're locked in a cell, and it's cold. They don't give you blankets. Like you're starving in there. You don't come out. You stay in there for 23 hours a day alone, and it's hell. It really is living hell in there. Like, and the hole is like the worst. It's like even worse than jail. It's like the jail side of jail. And the only thing that kept me like sane was the music. I just kept writing every single day. The police would come by my window, but like, what you doing, writing? I'm like, yeah, like writing music. It's like I hear around me people flipping out. They couldn't take it, like banging off the walls, banging their heads off the walls, screaming. Like it's very easy to lose control if you don't have something to keep you sane, and that's what I had.
So why'd you end up in the hole?
So I ended up in the hole because of a fight with somebody, because it was just a stupid situation. Because this guy came in my cell, and he was my new like cellmate, and he was trying to get the bottom bunk, because the bottom bunk is like, that's where you want to be, because on the top bunk is like the light, like they don't shut the lights off at night. So you got the big light on top. If you're on the top bunk, it's like it sucks because the light is on you all night and it's hard to sleep. But if you have the bottom bunk, then, like it's better because you have kind of like a canopy. But the way it works in jail is that whoever's in the cell first, obviously they get the, they get the bottom cell. So like when I went into the cell first, there was somebody there, and he had the bottom bunk. So I go to the top bunk, and when he left, I ended up taking the bottom bunk, and I was there in the cell alone for a little bit. And then he came, the guy, and he was like, "Oh, I want the bottom bunk," and just got into an argument and got into a fight about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just stupid stuff,
Yeah. So what did you do for work before? You said you had a job for a while. What were you doing at that point?
So when my first job that I got, it was in a 99 restaurant.
Oh yeah.
I was a host. I used to be in the front and stuff like that. I did customer service and stuff like that. And
yeah, you seem pretty personable. So
yeah, thank you. So I did that, and then I did like pizza deliveries. I worked in Dunkin' Donuts for a little bit. I kept going from job to job, and actually ended up being a personal care assistant for my uncle, the one that I was talking to you about earlier, the one that did music. After he got into his accident, I was taking care of him too, and I was actually in school too at the same time. I enrolled back into college. I was taking journalism at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And see, like I was still working a personal care assistant, and I was in college, and I was dealing drugs at the same time. So I was kind of like, I was in the middle. Like I had my foot in the streets, and I had my foot like in the right path too. So it wasn't just like always just on the wrong path. Like I'm fighting, I'm trying to like do the right thing, but I'm still like getting pulled back the whole time. And that actually helped me too when I went to court with my sentence, because the judge, like I was in school, I was in college, I had a job, and I wasn't just in the streets hustling. Like I was actually trying to like do something positive at the same time. And the judge told me, if he ever sees me again, that's it, that's a wrap. So when I got out of jail, that time I stopped everything. I got a job. The job that I'm at, I've been there ever since I got out of jail. I've been there 5 years already. I'm a supervisor there.
Where's that?
It's called Eco-Environmental. It's an environmental job.
Oh, nice. Is that like you supervise? Is it manufacturing or?
No, what we do is we do like we take oil tanks, gas tanks out of the ground. You know, like an old gas station. If they want to take the, you know how a lot of people convert into the old houses with how they used to have the oil heating. You know how they're converting to gas. So we'll take out like the old oil heating and stuff like that. You know, we actually just did a job like a couple weeks ago. It was right there in the 240 mills down the street. Those mills, the Washington, whatever those mills down there. And we took out a big 10,000 gallon gas tank out of the ground. And I've been there, you know. Well, when I got out of jail, like my main goal was to, you know, keep the job. I kept the job. Like my boss, we got a good relationship. You know, he wants me to, me and his son to take over the business for him one day. He tells us all the time, you know.
How did you find a job after going to jail?
Was when I got out, I just like I asked one of my friends. I'm like, do you know anybody that's hiring? And he like, you know, introduced me to the guy, and you know, we kicked it off from there. And the guy, like, he's very successful. He started his own business, and he grew up kind of like not the same as me, but like he was in trouble too. Like, I know he used to like work with he used to collect money for like bookies for the mob and stuff like that, and all. Like, he used to be in the streets a lot, you know, in Boston and stuff like that. And eventually he took a risk and he started his own business. So he changed his life around, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like inspiration. And he was in the streets, and now he's $1 million house, you know what I'm saying? He's living his life, you know, good. And
right.
And so we kicked it off, and I was still like, when I got out of jail, my mind wasn't really like 100% focused yet, you know. I still like, I ended up going back to selling drugs when I first got out of jail, but then I ended up getting locked up for a little bit, and I got kind of like a warning. I didn't get caught with nothing big, so it was just nothing serious. So, but I was like, man, if I keep doing this, man, I'm gonna throw it all away. So I just stopped, and then my main goal was to just build my studio, and I ended up working like 2 jobs. I was doing pizza deliveries, and I was working at the job that I'm still at now. And I ended up building my studio, you know.
So when you have a studio now that you're moving from, but what did you do to build your studio? What was the process? Did you know much about it, or?
No, I didn't really know much about it at all. I learned everything on YouTube, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I just bought piece by piece. You know, the first thing I bought was like a pair of headphones, and I'll wait for my next check, and then I'll buy like, you know, another piece, and I rented a room from some guy, and you know, like I didn't have nothing at that point, and I'm like, I'm gonna build a studio here, and I painted it, you know, red and black, the walls, I did everything. I put the LEDs up. Then I bought a desk, you know, like every week I'll buy something new, and over like a few years I ended up building everything.
Nice. And where was that?
And that's in Methuen, like in the Salem line, kind of.
Okay.
Next to like the flea market.
Oh, okay. I know where that is. So when you built your studio, how often were you there? Did you record a lot?
Yeah, I was there a lot. You know, I always knew how to, like, the basics of Pro Tools and like press record and stop and stuff like that, like just the basics. And I just, like, during the whole pandemic, I really got like my mixing skills. I really took it to the next level, because what I did through the whole pandemic, I would just go to the studio, because I've been living with my girl like the whole time, but I had a separate room that I just was renting for the studio. So I would go there, and then I was just like, I'll just watch YouTube videos for a couple hours every day, trying to learn, you know, the compressors and de-essers and all that stuff, you know, and how to mix. And eventually you know, it was a frustrating process, because there was a few times I wanted to just like give up, and I just didn't. I just kept it going, and I was I was always writing music and rapping, but I needed to learn the mixing. I really needed to, because I did not want to go to nobody else to mix my stuff. I wanted to be able to do everything myself. And because I try to reach out to other engineers, like I'll do my raps and I'll send it to them, and I wouldn't like it, you know, like the mixing, and I had a different sound in my head, so I gotta learn this, and it's expensive too, you know, like paying them like $200, $300, $400, $500 to mix my song, and then I don't really like how it sounds, you know, so I just had to learn it, and cool. I did.
That's impressive.
Yeah, like the songs that like, you know, that I sent to you, those I mixed them myself. I did everything myself.
Well, which is the one you're going to perform?
What You Want from me.
Okay, so how about we take a moment now and play that the other one, because you're not going to perform that live. That's just already mixed.
Yep.
Okay, so this is called Care.
Yes,
and it's by EaseUp.
Yes, EaseUp, and I'm actually on the chorus and I'm on the second verse. There's another artist on there. His name is J02. He's on the first verse. Okay. And this is actually a song that I wrote to my current girlfriend that I'm with. Well, she's my wife because I've been with her forever. You know, I've been with her since we was like 13.
Wow.
So
that's a long time.
Yeah, this is to her.
All right, so we're going to play this, and it's called Care, and it's by EaseUp. And later, you can look forward to a live performance of one of his other songs. But for now, let's hear this, Care.
So that's why we're here. You said we got to talk, because every time we break up, you pack my shit, or I pack my shit, then you don't let me leave, or vice versa. We need to talk about it and see what it is that we're gonna do. That's why we're here.
Alex, don't stop it. What you really wanna do? I can just call, but I'ma speak through the booth. La voz favorita, remind you I'm the truth. Es mojado, baby, pussy wetter than the pool. So cansado, pero I'ma still come through. Si yo trato mal, baby, then you're getting what's due. Me encanta ver tu cuerpo vestida de azul. Si quieres saber lo que necesito eres tú. Yeah, ese amor es real, pero si no te importa, entonces igual. Love to slap that ass while I'm gripping your spine. And when you suck my dick, I'll be reading your mind. I can text you all day, don't be wasting my time. But later on, we gon' be fucking all night. Love when you lay it down, then move it to the side. We gon' need some whipped cream, I'ma eat that pussy right. Hit it all night, smash on sight. A bitch get tight when a nigga catch flight. Give you what you like, keep the body right. And I'ma come through every motherfucking night.
I won't care if you won't care, then I don't really care about you. But I will care if you do care, then I will make my life about you. I just wanna be with you, but I don't care if you don't want to. All I need is for you to be real and tell me what you really want to do. I think we're doing fine, but we gotta do it better, cause I want you all the time. If my bottom bitch left like 7, 8, 9, then slide back, please be kind. Rewind, I said I think we're doing fine, but we gotta do it better, cause you age like wine. And the age that I'm with, the way my mind say I gotta be better, and believe me girl, I'm trying. And I could do it myself, but Socorro know that I may need help. And I got a soft spot for you, babe, I melt, cause you always hold me down, that's the way I felt. And I even threw away what I keep on the shelf, cause if it ain't you, I don't want nobody else. Nah, fuck that, I don't want nobody else, cause you always keep me up on my waist like a belt. Like, babe, can you tell? All I wanna do is be right there, cause all I want is you. I don't wanna lose you, boo, can you choose, be true, and tell me what you really wanna do, cause I won't care if you won't care, then I don't really care about you. But I will care if you do care, then I will make my life about you. I just wanna be with you, but I don't care if you don't want to. All I need is for you to be real and tell me what you really want to do. I won't care if you won't care, then I don't really care about you. But I will care if you do care, then I will make my life about you. I just wanna be with you, but I don't care if you don't want to. All I need is for you to be real and tell me what you really want to do.
Okay, so that was really great. I love that song.
Thank you.
That was good. So it's about your wife.
Yeah.
Her name is Soki.
Yep.
And there's also your cousin is on there. You said Jeremy or JO2?
Yeah, JO2. Yeah,
JO2. And so which parts does he do?
he's on the first verse, and I'm on the hook in the last verse.
Okay. And do you work with him a lot?
Yep.
Okay. And is he like your partner in the music, or is he just...
I mean, we're not really partners. We just did a couple collabs with each other.
Does he do other collabs with other people, or it's pretty much just with you?
Yeah, he does his own thing, you know, on the side. He does his own. So we did a few songs together.
Does he have a studio as well?
No, he uses mine or other people's studios and stuff. Because he's from Texas, so he was down there most of his life. You know?
Okay.
He just came up here like the beginning of this year, and we did a couple songs, worked a couple songs together. That's really it. You know?
So there's some pretty explicit language in that song. Why do you make that choice to use explicit language in a song that's basically, if I'm not incorrect, it's a love song of sorts to your wife? So why would you put the explicit stuff in?
To be honest, on my verse, it really wasn't too explicit. I mean, on Jeremy's, yeah, he did have a lot of explicit stuff. I'm not sure why he, I mean, that's probably the way he expresses it himself to, like, to whoever he was talking to in the song. But basically the song is more, it's not really like a love song. It's kind of like in the hook is saying, basically, like I'll say it again, it goes, I don't care if you don't care, then I don't really care about you, but I will care if you do care, then I will make my life about you. So it's kind of like, in the beginning of the song, it was that was actually my wife in the intro talking, and that was actually a real life conversation that we was having, and I ended up like recording it, like, and then I told her after, then I asked her if I could use a part of it for the intro. And cause we went through a roller coaster. Obviously, we went together since we was 13, so we was young and we been through a lot, and went through a lot of fights and stuff like that. So it's basically saying that I want to be with you, but like I'm trying to see where your head is at. If you want to be with me, I want to be with you. But if you don't want to be with me, then that's cool. We could be cordial,
Well, so Jeremy's writing to his love, or?
Yeah, I'm not sure who he's writing to, but it's got to be somebody that was important to him. I never really asked him who it was to. But I mean, in my verse, it was just like how I was feeling at the time. Like I wasn't trying to be too explicit, but I did have a couple of stuff in there. Yeah,
well, yours was different. I mean, but it struck me that his verse was pretty explicit, and
his was more like I don't know. It was a good verse, but mine was like his was kind of going off subject a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but in a good way. Like I was just straight talking to my wife and sticking to the chorus, what I was basically saying.
Well, it's like the sort of balance between one aspect of your relationship and another.
Yeah,
and that was interesting to me. So the song was written like by you first with the I don't care if you don't care, or
yes,
and then he came in and did a rap.
Yeah.
As part of it, is that how that works?
Yep. So I did the chorus first, and I sent it to him, and he wrote his verse, and then I wrote my verse, and we ended up recording it together. So
is that typically how you write? You write a verse and chorus, and then if you're going to collaborate, you have somebody come in?
Yeah, yep. I mean, there'll be some situations where we'll all get in the studio and we'll all pick a beat together and, start writing like that. But I know most of the time a lot of people, they'll write, like if they want somebody else on the song, they'll just write the chorus, their verse, and then they'll leave a verse open for somebody else or multiple people.
Is that typically the structure of a song that's rap hip hop style?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's like any other, like rock or anything else, you know, any type of genre. It's just, it's just creative. It could go any way, you know. We could, I could just meet somebody. Like I had a situation a couple months ago. I met these two artists from Boston, and you know, we wasn't even planning on doing a song. We just talked, and we just started looking at beats, and we found a beat, and we're like, oh, this is a good beat, let's write to it. We all started writing to it, recorded a song that night, you know.
Well, so your wife Soki is actually here with us, and I was wondering if she wanted to come and talk a little bit about the song, since she's the subject.
Yeah, this is my wife Soki. You want to take the mic, man?
Yeah. So you've been taking pictures a lot of the show while we've been here. So that song was about you. What was the first thing you thought when you heard it?
Honestly, when he told me he recorded me when we were having that argument, I was not too happy. But then I heard the song, and I understand where he was coming from, and I really liked it because it felt real, and what we've been through a lot, like he said. So, and knowing that he cares about me and wants to know where my head is at to try to work things out, because we were going through a rough patch at the time, really helped the situation. So I really like the song.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the explicit stuff doesn't bother you so much?
I don't want to say that I didn't like it. I did, but I just felt like it should have been a little different, just because there is some explicit stuff, and kind of, if the song is about me, then it just sounds wrong, and I wasn't too happy with the first verse. Yeah. Yeah.
But it is a good song overall. And
yeah.
That's the good part. But
yeah.
But you said he wrote another one about you before.
He did. That was about 10, 12 years ago. And it was just him alone. He also wrote one for our daughter. And I really liked that one as well.
Yeah. You have those?
I do.
You do?
I have both of them, yes. I saved them for memory. We had been together for 9 years at the time, and we were 22, which the song also states at the...
Well, you know what? If you can send those to me, I'll put them in the show, if you want.
Okay, I will ask him since it's his song and he wrote it, although it's for me.
I don't even remember. I remember the Twinkle one, but dude, I mean, when we wrote it, like, you know, like, we wrote. I was really young, so I don't know. I'm not even sure if it's that. You know what I'm saying? The quality is really good because we did it on a porch. You know, we recorded it on a porch, and
well, that's not the point. The point is,
I don't care. You could send them. You know?
Yeah, so like he said, the song was recorded on a porch. It had windows all around. It was not that good, but that's what shows talent. If you can make something sound okay, I mean, in my opinion, when you record it in a porch, which is half wall and then windows all around, then you have you're good. You have talent. Right. And even though it was not made in a real studio and it was in a porch, I feel like it came out good. And the lyrics are really good as well. But that, like I said, it was 10 years ago and recorded on a porch.
I don't care. I think the audience will want to hear it.
Yeah, I will send it to you.
All right, great. Well, why don't we get Eric back up here?
Okay, and I'll get that to you
I'm sorry,
right now.
ease up. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for talking, Soki.
Thank you.
So you're okay to have her send me the song, even though the quality's not so perfect.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I think it'll still be great to listen to as long as we can hear it.
Yeah.
So what you did in the song? You had lyrics. Was that the first thing you thought of? Was how to come up with the lyrics for something? Like, did you feel that about Soki, and you said, I want to write the lyrics out for this first, or did you just have a thing in your head with the chorus?
So this is how I always go about writing a song. First, it starts with the beat. You know, I have to feel the beat. That's number one. And then once I hear the beat, I'm vibing to it. If I love the beat, then it's gonna motivate me to write to it. And then when I start hearing words in my head, like this is how every song goes when I write it. Like I'll pick the beat, then I'll start hearing words. Like once I heard the beat, it wasn't like, oh, this is the one I'm gonna write for my wife. It wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I heard the beat, I liked it, and then I always put the chorus together first. That's how I always start, you know. And so I'm just hearing, like, I can hear this melody in my head every time the chorus part comes on. And like I'm hearing like, oh, don't care, like I hear this melody. And then I'm like thinking of words, and I keep playing that melody in my head, and then I'm like, I hear words, I start hearing words, like, care, like it'll start like that, and then I'll start writing it, and then once I see like the words that I'm picturing to the beat,
mm-hmm.
you know, now I have like the foundation, which it was like, I don't care if you don't care, you know, that's what I was hearing. So then once I wrote the chorus, then I'm like thinking, I don't care what, like, you know, then I was going through, you know, like a rough patch, like she said, and ended up being a song to her, you know, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what every song, like, I hear the beat, and then, like I said, I'll hear the chorus, and I could hear words, like, if I keep doing the melody over, I just hear these, like, I could hear, like, the syllables, and I'm not hearing the full words, but I'm hearing like I hear the like the rhyme, like if I'm not like if I didn't hear care at first, like all I hear is like the rhyme, like you know, that's like I didn't have the words or nothing. I'm just like, and then I put the words to rhyme that whatever I'm hearing. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
And that's how it come together.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, it sounds similar to the kind of thing I would do, like in acoustic music. I tend to write with the guitar, so
Yeah.
but I kind of do the same thing, except that it's just what chords I'm going to use, and you know, the rhythm's part of that. But you know, it's what chords do I want to use? What's the rhythm? And then I start to think, you know, about the way the melody is going to sound after. Usually I start with the chords, but occasionally I've tried lately doing just a melody. But it sounds like you do almost the melody and the beat at the same time, like, because you're kind of going with the melody. But do you start with the software and you hear something you like, or do you just in your head come up with the beat?
Oh no, the beats. So the beats, I haven't made no beats. So the beats, I'm getting, like, I buy the licenses for them.
Oh, I see.
So there's an app. It's called BeatStars, and it's
Mhm.
kind of like a social media platform for producers all around the world. So like that beat, like it could be a dude from Germany, Africa, you know, that make the beats, and it's just so cool because on the feed, on the page, like it has like the feed, and every day there's just like a bunch of producers uploading new beats and stuff.
Mhm.
And you could buy the license. They have different licenses you could buy. I usually buy the unlimited license, so it gives me like unlimited streams, unlimited, you know, sales and all that stuff. And that's how I do it, like that. Eventually I want to get into the beat making, but I mean, doing the engineering is a lot already, but I'm going to get into the beat making myself.
So with the beat making, what does that mean? Like you're using the Fruity Loops to create the beats?
Exactly.
Okay. Do you ever try to do live, like record drums or things like that?
I tried, but I'm not good. I tried to play guitar and stuff like that. I'm not really too good at that.
Right. It's just so you find the beats on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I should try Fruity Loops. I was looking at that because a couple of people have mentioned that as a way to get into making beats.
Yeah, I heard it's one of the best beat maker programs because it has like a sequencer, like for the drum patterns, like on Pro Tools. I'm not sure how it is on GarageBand, but I know on Pro Tools when you try to make a beat, like the way you get it to the grid is you gotta like quantize it and stuff. It's just like it's just a lot to learn. And with the Fruity Loops, you could just click on say you want the snares on every 1/8. You just click on that, on every 1/8. It already has the setup. Or if you want to do like 1/4, so already you can put the kick. You just click the button, bong, on every 1/4.
So it's software driven, like parts. So basically, you're putting the beat together piece by piece.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
I like that.
It's cheap too. It's not that much. I think it's like $200 for the program, and that's it. You just buy it right out for $200.
Oh, you buy it out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that does sound cool.
Yeah.
So, how often do you write a song?
Right now I'm kind of in a slump, but usually I'll be every day. Like I try to dedicate an hour at least to writing. If it's in the morning, at night, I try to at least dedicate an hour.
There's a thing that people always tell me to do, which is called February Album Writing Month. And so, like, you're supposed to write 14 songs in 28 days. That's supposed to be what you do. And I've always been trying to do that. But do you ever do that where you force yourself to write? Like, do you ever try to do that?
Yeah, because I was trying to like get some stuff out, before a certain amount of time at a timeline, and I was kind of like forcing myself sometimes to write. But I love writing, so it's not kind of like forcing, but I know sometimes you get writer's block and you just gotta find inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well,
but I'm gonna try that out. That 28 days, the 14 song.
Yeah, there's a Facebook group. It's FAWM. I can't remember the website. I think they have a website too. And what it is you it's social. So you like tell people what you're writing, or you can share your stuff and different things. And so you just go back and forth with other musicians, and you can encourage each other to keep going.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool to do. And usually the ones I've seen are, a lot of singer, songwriter, guitarists, but it'd be cool to see you do that and see how you could change what they're doing and they could change what you're doing maybe. And, sort of feed off of each other. Because one of the things I like about what I'm doing here in Lawrence is I want people of different musical genres to work together.
Yeah.
And because I think it'll improve both.
No, that's good.
I think it'd be awesome if you could do that and work with some people who aren't doing beats and show them how.
Yeah, you're right.
So but the stuff you're doing is cool, and I know you did come to an open mic here.
Yeah.
You came and you were with Jeremy with JO2.
Yeah.
And who was the other woman you were with?
That was one of the artists that he was working with.
Okay.
And her name is Nisha.
Yeah, she was good.
And I think it was with my other cousin. Was it with somebody else?
I think it was just the three of you.
Oh, yeah, it was just us three. Yeah.
But she was good, too.
Yeah.
You guys performed and she performed, and it was nice. You guys move around a lot. See, that's the other thing is that when you perform, it's very different from when I perform, where I'm either standing up at a mic or sitting in a chair, and I don't move a lot.
Yeah, because you got to play, right?
Right. You got to be there. I mean, look, there are some rock guitarists, like your uncle, for example.
Yeah.
You showed me a video where he's playing like Jimi Hendrix. And, he's
playing behind his back and everything.
Right. So, that's what guitarists can do. But if you're doing what you're doing and you have a beat in the background, with your track that you're singing with or rapping with, then you can move around. And so wireless mics work, and that's why I bought wireless mics for this place, because it's the first time I've had to. Normally, if it's singer-songwriters, you're just at a mic, and that's it.
Do wireless mics, do they have any latency?
No, but there's some feedback. Like it's RF, it's a radio frequency signal, so there's a little hiss.
Yeah.
Which is irritating. That's because I didn't get expensive ones. If you get the really good ones, like the Shure, they're much better. But I got something less expensive.
Yeah.
They're fine and they're good. They're good for live. They're not so good for recording.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
I don't mind wired mics though.
Yeah, well, we got them.
Yeah.
And you brought your own today, and it's a nice silver one.
Yeah.
And why don't we do that now? And you were going to perform something live as well.
Yeah.
So maybe now would be a good time to do that.
Okay.
And we could talk about that song in addition to what we already listened to.
All right.
So we're going to take a break and get set up. So let's do that. And actually, this might be a good place to do the song that Soki's going to send me.
Well, yeah. How'd it come on? Come on good?
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, let me see it.
Hey, what's up? It's EaseUp. We are One Broadway Collaborative, and this is my song, What You Want. Yeah. Yeah. What you want? Yeah. Yeah. What you want from me? What you want from me? You see me poppin', I ain't never stopping. You did me wrong, so don't talk to me. What you want from me? No, I couldn't tell you. Sorry, I can't help you. I be in my zone, but I don't really know, cause I be in my dome, but I already know that I'm a winner. Yo, I'm a winner. Check it, I've been left alone, but I don't really care about no stupid. Oh, she didn't even know that I'm a winner. I'm a winner, yo. I can't help you, yo. And no, I didn't get alone. Right from the beginning, man, I did it on my own. I didn't think that I'd be winning if I went at it alone. But the only way to get it was to whip it on the stove. So here we go, I'm coming for the throne. On the road to riches, and I'm gonna make it known. So don't ask me for no tickets when you see me at my show, cause nobody gave me shit when I was sleeping in the cold. So, yo, what you want from me? What you want from me? No, I couldn't tell you. Sorry. Yo, you did me wrong, so don't talk to me. What you want from me? No, I couldn't tell you. Sorry, I can't help. You did me wrong, so don't talk to me. You look like a dog to me. I feel like the mailman tell these bitches to get off of me. Get off of my property. What you really want from me is going down, and they be jocking me. She didn't follow me, now she wanna fall for me. Didn't acknowledge me, now she wanna rock with me. She run the jaw to me, now she wanna swallow me. What goes around comes around. Monopoly, and so I let her give me dome. Right up in the whipping, I ain't even gonna bone. And then she told me that she sick of being took her for a hoe. But if every time I hit this, she be asking me for dough. So yeah, oh, you already know. Her bitch gon' be a bitch, and a hoe gon' be a hoe. Her killer gon' be a killer, and the plug gon' be a plug. Ain't no way around it. Yeah, what you want from me? What you want from me? Now you see me poppin', I ain't never stopping. You did me wrong, so don't talk to me. What you want from me? No, I couldn't tell you. Sorry, I can't help you. What you want from me? What you want from me? Now you see me poppin'. I ain't never stopping. You did me wrong, so don't talk to me. What you want from me? No, I couldn't tell you. Sorry, I can't help you. That was it. What you want from me? Ease up. What you want?
So that was a really interesting song. I like that. It's very catchy. So what is it about? What's that written? What inspired it?
So it's like inspired by I gotta think, you know. I mean, I got a big heart, you know. So I looked out for a lot of people, and I've been like, you know, I've been scorned a lot, you know, just trying to be there for people, and that's one of my weaknesses. It's like a blessing and a curse too. So like I said, I looked out for a lot of people, and I got hurt, and so basically the song is like expressing my feelings and like what you want from me. Like when I was down, you know, in the dumps, like nobody was there for me. So every time I play the song, like I just picture me like performing it in a big crowd. That's what I could picture every time I play it, like me performing it in a big crowd. And it just talks about like when I was first trying to, like when I first got out of jail, I had nothing, you know, like I wasn't expecting no handouts, but I did ask, you know, a couple people to help me out, and they never did. And it's just like basically I found my like a way to be independent, and I got everything by myself. So I feel like because I plan to take it very far with this music, so I feel like when it does start to move the way I want it to, then a lot of people that I ask for help is going to ask me for help, just because probably looking at me like a ticket, you know? And it's basically, it could be a song like I wrote for the future, kind of, you know, because it's like, I think it's telling my future. Like some of these songs that I write is like, I'm going to be able to relate to them. And I feel like I could relate to it now, but like the song is like talking about like, you know, like my future, basically, like I said in the song. So don't ask me for no tickets when you see me at my show, because nobody gave me nothing when I was sleeping in this cold, you know. So like,
right,
I could picture that, you know, like people coming up to me and asking me, you know, for free stuff, when that's not how it is, you know. Like I'll help people out. Like I'm always gonna have a big heart no matter what. That's just who I am, you know. But on a personal level, when I try to help people out, I just, you know, always get taken for granted. So I don't ever plan to change and be like, you know, a piece of crap towards people, because that's just not who I am. But I want to help people like on another level, like not so personal, you know what I'm saying? Like if I could do something kind of like what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Like you just, you know, you're trying to do something for the community, you know what I'm saying? And uplift a lot of people, be an inspiration, and do stuff like that, instead of trying to carry somebody like maybe like a, you know, like a relative, just because of family. Don't try to carry them just for that, because even like family, like you might think they won't do you wrong, but they will, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter, blood, you know, they say blood is thicker than water, but blood could also hurt you too, you know. It's not really about family or not. Like I could have somebody that I just met, and you know, they could be more of a family than my real family, basically, you know.
Do you talk to your family still?
Yeah, I talk to them. Yeah, I'm on good terms with, you know, like most of my family, like 99%.
Yeah. Are your mom and dad still around?
Yeah, they're still around. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go there for the holidays and for...
Yeah, we talk all the time. So I'm in, like, you know, I'm good. Like, everybody loves me. I love everybody. I'm on good terms with everybody.
Good.
You know, like I said, I got a big heart, and I'm just trying to help people out. But now I just got to learn how to help myself out first, because I can't help nobody if I can't take care of myself, and that's what I'm trying to learn now.
Mm-hmm. That's good advice.
Yeah.
So I know you wrote, as Soki was talking about, a song for her and for your daughter.
Yeah.
So I know you haven't heard them in a while, but tell us about when you wrote those.
Man, it was a while ago, man. It's like, you know, like, I was just hearing a little bit of it, and it sounds nice, but it's like, you could tell that I was so, like a beginner, basically, you know what I'm saying? But I wrote the song, the one, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, is to my daughter. It was like a lullaby, kind of. And I just wrote that for her because I wanted to write a song for her. I'm going to write another song for her in the future, you know, a better one.
Mm-hmm.
And the song for her, you know, it's just like, I always been in you know, the rap, always rapping, and I would make songs here and there, never finish it, never take it serious until, like, just the last few years I've been really taking it serious, and I got everything I need now. I got my own studio, I got my own, like, camera, everything to do the videos, everything. I do everything by myself, and I really invested a lot into it. Now I just gotta keep making the music and push it out.
Yeah. And the other one for your wife, is it another love song, or?
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's more like a love song than the other one.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we're going to play that now. So we're going to just do them back to back. So why don't we which one do you want to do first?
You could do the Twinkle Little Star first. The one to my daughter. And, yeah.
All right, and then the one to your wife. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So here it is, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Yo, it's Diamond Star Productions with my homeboy Big Maker, you Rob Black.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder
Like
what
with
you
a dope
are.
bitch you ever heard. Don't miss it, go check this out. Tell a friend and tell a friend.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, girl, you know you are. Shine, twilight, shine, shine. Up above the world so high, so I'm singing this lullaby. Baby, don't cry when I say bye-bye, side by side. I'ma stay till I die, ride till we die. Side by side, if I cry, you cry. If I shine, you shine. Sometimes it make me wonder why. Up above the world so high, spread your wings like a butterfly. There won't be no other guy that's gonna love you more than me. I love you like recording beats. I love you like my Lord to me. There's nothing more important than me. I love you like that organ beat. My heart accordingly, my heart is yours. Believe I love you more than a Jordan freak, love a Jordan sneak. So before I leave, reach for your sheets, kiss you on your forehead and cheeks, and I lure you to sleep. I've been working on this beat, so before you close your eyes, you're my star. I just wanna sing my little girl this lullaby.
Little star, oh how I know that you are above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, oh how I know that you are above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky.
And I'm here to stay like winter, I ain't gonna leave. And you'll never fall out the sky, so you'll never leave. Stick to you, no AC, hot leather seats. Keep you in my arms, if you cold I'll be your sweater sleeve. Stay by your side like a janitor and a set of keys. Be there only for you like the doors on a jet of 3. Ain't nobody better than me to be there for you when you need. So I'm gonna be right here like I've been for 3 years of your whole life. Like a kite in the sky by your side, soaring high. See us flight in the lights, never fight, we just fly. And if she like, then aight, but if she don't, then say bye. And if you need something, I'm here, right here I stand. If you need to eat, I'll take it there with my bare hands. I'm a bear, seeing you a tear, something I can't bear here. Take your milk and your blanket and your teddy bear.
Little star, oh how I know that you are above the world.
do anything for you. You know I would, and I would sacrifice my life only for you. I just wanna let you know that I never let you go. No one before you, you know I adore you. I just wanna let you know that I never let you go. And you know that I do anything
Straight
for
out of Diamond
you. So
Style,
shine, baby, shine.
with a dope bitch, yeah,
So
but
high, baby,
don't miss it.
high.
Go check this out. Tell a friend to tell a
Kayla
friend.
Ingalls, little Arlene, beam like a car, being high like Mars. Twinkle, twinkle, glitter hard. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I know that you are. See you glow from afar. Watch you grow like a bar. Up above the world so high. You a diamond in the sky, like a diamond in the sky.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Oh, how I know that you are above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Oh, how I know that you are above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky.
Straight out of Diamond Style Production. Packed with a dope bitch you ever heard. Don't miss it. Go check this out. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
I'ma keep it real with you.
Straight out
For
of
real
Diamond
when I
Style
will, when I
Production.
kill for you. I'ma pay the bills for you. And if you ever in jail, I'll pay the bill for you. And I steal for you. And if I ever get a deal, I split a meal with you. I give my mail to you. Wedding ring bling, I wanna nail to you. I go out of control, just the thought of you walking right out of the door. You don't really understand how I feel, like you leave me, I'm bleeding my wrist with a steel knife. Nah, I'm just kidding, or am I just look, you don't even have to listen. Or maybe I'm just tripping, I know I done wrong, I just wanna be forgiven. Body shaped like a ribbon, got curves, how you fit it in that skirt. I'ma get up in my first, I'ma tickle it. Play with it a little bit, take off your shirt, make it purr like a kid, then it's gonna hurt when you sit on it. Don't leave me, no, baby, never let me go. I'm going crazy, can't take it. Don't leave me, I need you, babe. Don't leave me, no, baby, never let me go. I'm going crazy, can't take it. Don't leave me, I need you, babe. We first met in 7th grade. I knew you was the one that heaven gave to me. I'm grateful for the beauty, amen. The blessings and the booty, nah, but it's more than that. You always hold it down, you my quarterback. Yeah, is it the way that you love me? Tears in my eyes and my nose all stuffy. I plead guilty, come cuff me. I wanna be a puppy, and you could call me lucky. I'm gonna ride like a huffy, right by your side till I die. You could trust me. I just want you to love me the way that I love you. I really love you. What you want me to do? 9 years, and I'm only 22. I want you for life. Tell me what you wanna do. Don't leave me, no, baby, never let me go. I'm going crazy, can't take it. Don't leave me. I need you, babe. Don't leave me, no, baby, never let me go. I'm going crazy, can't take it. Don't leave me, I need you, babe. Even when it rains, ain't nothing gonna change right here. I'ma stay, we gon' fight the hurricane through pleasure or pain, sunshine or the rain. I'ma be there for you, I'm connected like a chain. Even when it rains, ain't nothing gonna change right here. I'ma stay, we gon' fight the hurricane through pleasure or pain, sunshine or the rain. I'ma be there for you, I'm connected like a chain. I'ma keep it real with you, for real when I will, when I kill for you. I'ma pay the bills for you, and if you ever go to jail, pay the bill for you. And I steal for you, and if I ever get a deal, I split a meal with you. I give my mail to you, wedding ring bling, I wanna nail to you. don't leave me, no. Baby, never let me go. I'm going crazy, can't take it. Don't leave me, I need you, babe. Don't leave me, no. Baby, never let me go. I'm going crazy, can't take it. Don't leave me, I need you, babe.
Straight out of Diamond Star Production.
So that was interesting. The thing I was struck by was that last part where you're doing every time I get a deal, I split a meal with you. I like that. I like that line a lot. So you were kind of not doing well at that point, but you were trying to express your gratitude to your wife. It sounds like.
Yes, yep. We was going through another rough patch, one of many. And that was actually, we recorded it on the porch, and it was like one of those, the porches that are covered, but like, with all the windows and stuff, like a sunroom porch kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no acoustics at all. Cheap mic,
right?
And sounds muffled, but I mean,
you did well with what you had though, because the muffled sound doesn't distract too much. In fact, you made it seem like it was on purpose.
Yeah, it's crazy because, I mean, I haven't heard that in a while, and it still sounds pretty good for considering what we had.
Yeah, I think it does sound great.
Yeah.
And then before that, you had Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And so you were looking to write something that you said it was a lullaby for your daughter. Did you sing it to her and play it for her a lot at that time?
Yeah, we did. And
Did she like it?
Yeah, she likes it. She loves it. And she actually says something on the song, like, I forgot, what is it she said? I forgot, but if you hear a little girl, like, say something, it's actually my daughter, my actual daughter.
Wow.
And that's one of my friends' girlfriend was she was singing. There was a female vocalist in there. She was singing too.
Okay. And you had so you had a lot of interesting experiences in your life. What's the thing that you think was the best time you ever had?
I think to be honest, I think it's like recently.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like just the beginning of this year was so good, and this year was such a roller coaster too. And just me completing my studio and all those goals that I've been trying to do, because I actually been, on a straight path this time, and just for me to see all my goals coming to life and actually being a little more mature and, not taking for granted my family and my wife, and me realizing that life is like freedom is precious, just like the little things, and it could all get taken away,
right.
There's people that's doing time for stuff they didn't even do, and it's crazy. And I just appreciate my family, like where my brain is at. I matured a lot, and I appreciate the little things. I appreciate having them around, and now I have my studio, I have everything I need to take it to the next step. So really, just recently in my life it's been the best time.
That's
even though
great.
It's been a roller coaster of a year, but still, even though it's been a roller coaster, it's still like through my whole life, it's like the best. I've been thinking in my brain, like where I'm at right now.
So, given your background, what would you say to kids that are sort of about to go down that path?
I would say just to try to stay busy, like that's the main thing. Stay in sports. Sports is really important. and it's very good, like exercising, going running and stuff like that. It'll keep your head clear, and it's really not worth it to go down that path because, you know, I wasted so much time, and it's been a struggle. And my daughter, she been through rough times too. She's 13 right now, and she's seen it all, and I don't really think it's fair, but, you know, it is what it is. Just try to stay busy and, you know, find something that you like doing. If it's music, if it's sports, just try to stay active. Stay in sports if you can. And really, like, all that drinking and smoking stuff really is overrated anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But, I mean, people going to learn, you know, the hard way. A lot of people don't want to hear that, especially the youth. They don't want to hear stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully, you know, kids could, you know, learn from other people's mistakes. And I'm saying that it's not worth it. I've been through it all, and I'm lucky to even be sitting here right now. Like I said, God gave me another chance. He obviously wants me out here for a reason, because it's just all the signs the universe been giving me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so maybe it's through the rough experience I've been through, and for me to change my life around. And I've been through the worst. You know, I've been shot, I've been stabbed. You know, I've been through a lot, and none of that stuff is fun. And it's not even. I don't like talking about it because I'm not proud of it. It's just a bunch of, you know, the good life is going to school, getting it, you know, being comfortable, having a nice house. That's a good life. Enjoying stuff, going on vacations, you know, that's a good life. Nobody wants to be in the streets, you know. Like, it's not all that. It's not cool at all. It's just going to jail is not. It's just after you're 40 years old, 30 years old, and you've been going through that your whole life now. A lot of people die unhappy. People that live that life, you know, they might have fun at a young age, but everybody got to grow up one day.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been a very interesting conversation, and I want to thank you for coming in. And I expect to see, I expect to see a lot more of you. And hopefully we'll be neighbors, and you'll be at One Broadway with your studio. And
yes, hopefully
we'll see.
Yeah.
In any case, I expect that we can have you back here to do some performing and other great stuff. So
yes, I need to get some more music together. I got a bunch of music written, and I just got to record it. That's
okay.
it.
Well, so this is EaseUp we've been talking with today, and he will have social media up at some point. And
yes, I'll get it all together.
yeah, he's going to get it together, and I'll let everybody know about it when he has some stuff. And in the meantime, One Broadway is a good place to come if you want to do open mics or performing or rehearsal space, rental of the space. It's lots of cool stuff you can do here. It's going to get bigger. It's going to get more extensive, and you should definitely come check us out. It's onebroadway.org is our website. That's onebroadway.org. So onebroadway.org is where you can find all the events that we're having. There's a calendar. You can buy tickets for the events right on the calendar, or you can also click on the events calendar on the page and see more of a calendar view of it.
Okay.
And there's lots of stuff on there. I'm going to start blogging more. And by the way, everybody should try to sign up for the email blast. So there's a link on there for email blast. It says email sign up, I think, on the page. Click on there, and you don't have to give me all your information. Just give me an email and a name, and then I can send you emails periodically. I'm going to try to be doing once a week, but more likely once every other week or once a month. We'll see. But thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Thank you everybody.
And so until next Tuesday, this is One Broadway Collaborative, and I'm Aaron Tornberg signing off.